I'm parked up there, and I am at a state park. So I thought I would walk you through kind of what I would look for if I were, let's say, not in a state park, or if I were in a state park. Now, most state parks you can't stay overnight unless you're in the camping area. But I thought I would share with you what I would look for. And basically, the camp area that I would look for, I'm going to use what I call the rule of W's. And the rule of W's is basically, I'm looking for a source of water. I'm looking for a source of wood, wind and weather. You know, where am I at as far as the wind and the weather? And then widow makers. You don't want to set up anywhere where you have trees or branches that could fall down on your camping area. And then the last one is what I call willies or woolies. Basically, willies and woolies are snakes, ants, bugs, critters, anything that can get into your camp area and ruin the enjoyment. So I'm going to turn you around here. We'll just kind of walk through. I'll show you what I would be looking at anyways. So obviously we have plenty of wood. Wood is not going to be an issue here at all. So that's a pretty easy one. The water is actually, I don't know if you can see, but the water is actually right over there. So I'd want to get somewhere, you know, my rule is at least within, say, a football field or two of a source of water. That would be ideal for me anyways. Just so I don't have to go long distances to access fresh water or water that I can purify. So right now I'm walking through an area that's kind of thick, so for me this would not be an ideal area. However, there are places like right here with this kind of fallen over, bent over branch, that if you didn't have cover, you could make it naturally. I also see another little spot right over here that would be ideal as well. So that would be another possibility for a kind of a shelter area. Now, one thing you would want to do with this kind of goes along with the widow makers, is that branch right there that runs along kind of would be the ridge line. It's not real secure, so I would want to maybe lash that area or find a stick, maybe something like this. It has a Y in it. Let me back up here for you. Has a Y in it. Cut it, lash it next to that tree, and then put it underneath that. Depending on what time you get in the woods, falling over. That's going to dictate, or at least for me, what I'm going to do first. Now, if it were raining outside, obviously I want to set up shelter first. This looks pretty good here. I kind of like this. We're close to the water. All right, let's look up top here, make sure I don't see any widow makers. We have one right here, but that could be something I could cut down and use for firewood. So that would go away by default, so I could use that for firewood. But everything else looks good here. I don't see anything that's going to fall over or hit us on the head in the middle of the night. So shelter, if you're going to be in inclement weather and you know it, obviously you want to put shelter up first. Pack up. I got my paracord all wrapped up, and one of the things that I thought was pretty interesting, someone said that no one ever shows do that here for you packing today. Bag. So what I do is I take my drum liner. I'm going to set this aside because that's actually one of the first things I put in there. So I'm going to put my drum liner down. And this is just to keep my knees dry in case it's wet out. So I put everything here on my net. Like I said, this is the first thing that goes in my pack. So kind of line that up so that I know how wide to fold it. I'm going to fold it like this, like that, like that. I'll fold that in half, squeeze the air out of it. Now, the reason I put the open ends on the top is because I like to slide things down and behind that. If you don't like that, or you don't use that, then I would put it in that way. That way you don't have anything going down in between the blanket. So then I would just put that in the haversack like so. Alright, and then the first things I put in there are the things that I put down in between. So that's going to be the fat wood, that's going to be the spork, the headlamp, and alright, sorry about that, guys, my battery went dead. So I think I left off with put the paracord in there and the bank line, then my fire kit goes in next, and then the GSI cup, push that all the way down to the front, and then my canteen, kitchen sink, Baco saw, my gloves go in the back of the lid, and the netted scarf. I found it's actually easier to just kind of push it in all around the little crevices as opposed to trying to fold it up nice and neat. Just shove that in there. A couple leaves never hurt. Use that as fire tinder for the next campfire. And then that leaves the last thing, which is the garbage bag. And I just fold that up. Put that right on top. And put the bag on. That's it. I'm all set. All right, guys. Well, so that's not sure if that was really much of anything. Other than just me sharing my day hike or day trip. It was definitely a nice day to get out in the woods. It's absolutely beautiful out. It's about probably 45 degrees out right now. And if I were not in a state park, I would definitely love to stay overnight for sure. But I have to go to work tomorrow, and this is not a camping area, so I think the state park would probably frown. The main thing is just getting out and enjoying nature. That is proving to you I'm just like every other guy out there. This morning I'd planned on getting out here earlier, and as you guys are probably aware from my my bushcraft video with my dad, I've been remodeling my house, and so all I wanted to do is clean out the brushes that have been in the laundry room sink, clean those out, and clean and bleach out the laundry room sink. So I have the water running. My wife made quiche for breakfast. I got up and I walked in there, and I thought she had turned it off because she'd gone in there earlier, and it's just overflowing all over the place. So I had to vac and clean. So then, of course, that involved me now deep cleaning and scrubbing and moving the washer and dryer out, cleaning everything behind it. So just thought I'd share that with you. I wasn't out here in the woods all day long enjoying life. I had to do that first, and then I came out here. So love getting out in the outdoors. And Yeah, I was thinking, I have one of my subscribers. He's in a wheelchair, and you never really think about that when you're out. They just can't get out. They can't get out and enjoy nature. I will say I wish the guy was a little closer to me, because I would find a way to get him out and do some bushcrafting. But he's done some really good videos, and he has some pretty neat stories to share, regardless of his handicap. And it just really makes you appreciate being who you are. We all have our imperfections, and we all in some way are vain. And when you see someone that enjoys outdoors, and he's in a wheelchair and he can't get out like you or I would, it really makes you think. And for years I struggled with the fact that I have Bell's palsy, and I don't know if I've ever shared that with you, but the right side of my face, I do not have 100% use of it, and it affects my smile, it affects tear production, or actually it overproduces when I eat out of my right eye, and my right eyebrow does not function. And a lot of times, like, man, I wish I had that back. Blessing to be able to have a channel. Thank God it wasn't to be able to have the time to come out and do this, even though it's only for a couple hours. I wanted to make a whole day of it, and I ended up shop vacuuming out my entire laundry room because it overflowed. The sink overflowed, but I still made it out. So this is Jeff with the Common Sense Camper. How do you do that? Camping out.